Hi, I'm Daniel and this is Ashville Weekly, episode 21. 21 episodes.
I've done 21 episodes. If you like the channel and the video, let me know, subscribe and leave your comments below. Did you see me on a commercial moto? Did you see me in a Dell promo? If you like the channel and the video, let me know, subscribe and leave your comments below.
This is like the most fun that I have. I was spoilt last night. I had a dirty slab, and while dirty slabs are close to my heart, big man business. Like, my pants are gonna be soaked, man. Can you imagine? The original muscle man, bad man, meathead. It's very peaceful down here. Nobody cares that I'm busy. The Ashville Gym. Bro, we're paying good money for that. Everyone needs to get paid.
They should have done this and they should have done that.
I don't know exactly what these people want from me. We have a serious problem on our hands. So what? Monday morning and we start in the yard this week. I'm standing over by my previous archive. That is this container here. It's just above the kitchen. Now, in the thoughts I'm having about what we're gonna do in the future and how I'm gonna change things in the business, infrastructure, etc., I have decided that I am no longer gonna keep my existing office. I'm gonna use that space for something else. I'm gonna put a new office solely for myself up here. Now, I'm gonna show you that space in a minute. I'm gonna go for a container which is 10 foot by 32 foot. It's gonna slightly overlap here. Luckily, when we put the steel work in place previously, we have about a space of 600 over here, which means the space here for the new office is just enough that it will sit on the existing steels. We have a little bit of a problem with the length as it's gonna hang over the side here, but we're gonna put some steel work in place and we should be able to put enough support there. So this is the space upstairs. Your previous container fits here and we have a gap before the ladies' toilets. So the new container, once we remove this should sit here and I will still have a full walkway. With this walkway, I'm gonna put down some more checker plate to make sure that there's no slipping or anything like that. And I think a couple of lights to light the area. As you can see, the previous archive is a lot more modest in size. It suited us for a few years. This is far too small for me to have an office. I want to have my own toilet. I want to have a desk where two people can sit in front of me, and I want to have a seating area so I can have like larger board meetings. The office I've got at the moment is very small, and there are certain conversations I need to have with people who are very corporate and much bigger companies. I want to address something that happened in episode 20, and thank you to everyone who watched. We had a part where we had some muffled audio, and that is my fault. I didn't pay attention and I zipped up my jacket because I was cold. Now I'm under pressure, I can't zip my coat up. Hold on. But I can't even zip my jacket up. You know when you're young and you're at the bus stop and it's raining and your mum says to you, do up your coat, and you start struggling and you start to like, you start to do that sort of cry, and then you get on the bus, you try and act big in front of your friends, but really you look out the window and you do the silent cry when nothing comes out. Yeah, that's kind of how I felt there. Anyway, I zipped it up. Hello, 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 hello. And everything got very muffled. We've learned from our lesson and it won't happen again. We now have 3 volumetric drivers working here, and all the work started at 12 o'clock. So everybody comes in on Monday morning. I mean, there's general maintenance you can do and you can clean the back of the lorry out, but really I'd want the boys out working. But thankfully, we had some calls. A couple of people forgot to book concrete. The time now is 9:39 and this driver's going out. Thankfully, all the drivers we've got here are multi-skilled. So anybody who couldn't go out in a concrete lorry this morning, they went out in tippers and did a few loads, which is very good because we are trying to set a new record today into the infrastructure project for the amount of loads that we can do. So I'll let you know at the end of the day if we manage to do it. We've got a bit of an issue with this volumetric concrete lorry. It's not an issue for our clients, it's an issue for us. Basically, the lorry is putting out far too much cement, which is great for our clients because you could ask for a C20 and you're actually getting a C40. But that's no good for us because cement is the most expensive thing in the concrete mix. So we need to get this recalibrated ASAP. Here's the thing, you're meant to do it every 3 months, and we've done this one about 3 weeks ago. And there's far too much cement going into all the mixes, so we need to get this out before we bankrupt ourselves and make all the foundations across West and Northwest London the strongest footings that there have ever been. Last night, This Is Ashville went live and we finally started selling some merch. It's only umbrellas at this point because this is what we had in stock. And I'm happy to say we are 90% sold out. Even though online it says that we're sold out. It's because a lot of people have put it in the basket and they haven't purchased it yet. Now, I apologize. I'm gonna have to refresh your baskets. I'm really sorry. It's first come, first serve. Imagine when the baker makes fresh bread. Fresh bread is on the counter, you come in there. I'm sorry, this isn't Amazon, it's not a wish list. You can't take it and put your bread on the side. When you come back, the bread's going to be cold. So I personally am going to refresh all the baskets so everybody who does want to purchase immediately can. But don't worry, because as soon as another delivery comes in, I will put them back up for sale. This weekend, I managed to get 2 sessions in. I managed to do chest on Saturday, and while Ashville Weekly was uploading, I managed to train back yesterday. Now, I'm pushing baby weights at the moment. I'm working my way back in. We're just getting the movement going. But I'm happy to say my paper towel dispensers are in place. The disinfectant spray, those bottles are in place. And I've actually hung my mats on the wall here. So I was able to have a decent workout and working my way back to fitness. Another issue with a concrete lorry, but this issue was on Friday. We managed to resolve it. On these volumetric lorries, there is a prop underneath here. That prop works on the PTO and controls everything what's going on in the body on the back mixing the concrete. Now, the prop was damaged and the auger was down on the lorry, so somebody had to go out, they had to try to fix this as best they could to get everything back up in the air and get the lorry back to the yard. Now, we have a new prop on there. This is the old one, but we're gonna take this one to get repaired and we're gonna keep this one in stock because there's nothing wrong with it. So we'll change this end, and now we'll be able to keep one of these in stock so the next time it happens, we can get it sorted out a lot quicker. Because he was meant to go in the pump, but I'm cancelling his work. He ain't going nowhere in the pump, he's staying here. So Flo and him will be in this yard the whole day.
So if you live there, there? No, I can't.
Because you want to pull the material down.
I need to pull it, so I need to get the 26 tonne out and pull all that from that end this way.
Okay.
Because if I leave it there, we're only going to get maximum 3 carriages. You want to see if you change that?
What, the LX60?
For long reach.
It's meant to be a long reach. In the railway yard, no train today. We're just trying to prepare for tomorrow. We're burning a lot of diesel and the shovel is just moving material everywhere, trying to make sure we have space. We're gonna put the 926 up on the top here and pull the material at the top, pull it down and make sure we have a level ramp to work off. So plenty of work to do before tomorrow. It's 5:51, Terry's not staying around for regular guys, he's leaving.
Actually, I'm not leaving, I need to change the battery on my car. So I'll be around for a little while.
Correction, you're changing the battery on my car.
Well, whatever. Same thing. While
show
I'm
you
at the wheel, it's my car.
I'm gonna show you something,
Get
guys.
that dog.
Little parcel came today. There goes the cupboard door. What a great building firm we are.
If we know a decent building company, if anyone knows.
If anyone knows a decent building company, let us know. You just couldn't make this stuff up. Oh, look at this. Oh, wow, there's a baby kit's come. Is that your size? No, it's not your size.
It's a bit big for me.
If we have a look, little kit for Cora. Loving that. Terry, would you be so kind as to turn this top around and show the back?
To be honest, it's the only reason that she's going to be allowed to wear it.
Boom! Have a look at that. Baby Cora kitted out in Ashville. You're most welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Daniel.
Hold on. My QPR training gear. Make sure we don't drop anything. DAL, Daniel Ashville, Louise, obviously man's done like the players. And we have something very special here. This is a limited edition 3rd kit. QPR sent it to me because I think that they think that I'm gonna wear it, I'm not gonna wear it. I don't even think you can get this in the QPR store. Quite proud of that. I'm gonna frame it and put it on the wall with the rest of them. Socks! Are they serious? Pair of socks as well, to tell. Full kit. Next year, tell Cora that for her birthday, Uncle Daniel's going to buy her some shin pads and some football boots so she can 2-footy challenge all the other toddlers at nursery. There's 3 kits and a training kit, and there's a polo top, and there's a tracksuit. Then there's the travel tracksuit. If you're trying to keep up to date with these football clubs, it is expensive, man. It's a struggle for parents to keep up with stuff like that. So now I know what my mum was saying before. It's not easy buying all this gear. All now it's coming out of Terry's wages and not the goodness of my heart, but cool, innit? No, I'm joking.
QPR going to send me an invoice.
Yeah, I'm only joking.
Thank you, QPR.
About thank QPR. Bro, we're paying good money for that. About thanks QPR. What do you think, they let me go on the back of the top out the goodness of their heart? Look at that. Obviously, when I got Vex a couple of weeks back, flashback. Anyway, in Ashville, we don't clock watch, so we don't need this anyway. Clock hasn't survived, but a custom clock has been made for us. Thank you very much. And the people clearly watch Ashville Weekly because they showed when I got rid of the rubbish clock. So now we have a new clock and it's gonna go on the wall. And guess what? I'm gonna set the correct time as well. A few people in the comments said that I should get rid of the old lorry because it's not Euro 6, etc. I'm not going selling my skip lorry. It's a perfectly good lorry. Granted, From March, it's not going to be allowed inside the North Circular, and we do have another Scania skip lorry coming just before the 1st of March. But this lorry is perfectly good. It can do work locally all around here, and I spent a lot of money on this lorry. I've fixed nearly everything on it. I'm not sentimentally attached to it. It's not my first lorry or anything like that, but it's still a good lorry, and the money you would sell this lorry for, you probably couldn't buy anything with it. So I'm going to keep hold of the lorry for the time being, get her fixed and get her back out on the road doing some nice local work. I'm standing next to this Volvo Grab, which came into the repair bay to do some work on it. We had to change the easy sheet and the bar. Please explain to me how a straight bar can end up like this with an easy sheet. Obviously, the grab bucket has come down on this and give this a right old wallop for it to be all bent and twisted like that. Also on the back, having a quick look at the suspension, we had to change one of the elephant's feet because it was very worn. We thought this lorry had a problem with the gearbox and I was really worried, but thankfully there's a cable that goes from the tacho head onto the gearbox and 2 wires had broken in it. So it was sending the gearbox and everything was going all over the place. But we ordered a new cable, the cable is in place, it's plugged in and the gearbox is working perfectly well. Tell me you got that. Today we had hoped to hit a new record for material delivered, but we didn't do it, unfortunately. And at 4 o'clock today, the work was all cancelled. A few people would come back and they were all loaded to go out the next morning, and we had to tip off all the material and we had to reload and try and find other work. So it's 6:16 and we're still here trying to find work for the lorries to do tomorrow, which is unfortunate and very late, but it couldn't be helped. No point me moaning. I would complain, but then who wants to listen? I'm not sure why it says shook, because man's not shook, but I like it. It's nice. You know, I'm gonna put it on my phone. Here's the thing. I was gonna put it on my phone, but obviously I haven't got those rich people phones there with the 3 cameras on the back. I still have an XS. I will hold on to this, and then when I get myself a new phone, I will put this on it. Thank you very much. I didn't break it. You think I've got time to be fixing cupboards, you know, imagine. Oh, I can't be bothered. If it falls off, man. It's coming up to 7 o'clock, man. They're fixing cupboards like I haven't got work doing. Is it a sensor or is it a switch?
One's a pressure valve.
Yeah.
And the other one's a pressure sensor, which is like a switch, just a 3-pin plug. Okay, mate, it's done.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate it.
All right, bye-bye.
Still having trouble with the Volvo skip lorry, but Noel had a brainstorm last night, and when we turn the lorry on, it's fine, but when it builds up its working pressure, when it starts to warm after about 10-15 minutes, then the engine starts to knock a little bit. So on the rail, on the fuel rail on the top, we're going to change the sensor on that because we're beginning to think it may be some sort of electrical problem. As I said, it's trial and error. And as I said, I won't be getting rid of my Volvo skip lorry, even though it's not brand new. We don't throw away things just because they're old. And by the way, it's Tuesday morning, and today we start on site. I've got to stop doing all this singing, man. I can't get the song out of my head. Sha-la-lambus, sha-la-la-la-la-lambus. Where's my hard hat? We know about them Ashville bags with the yellow piping. If you remember last week, I spoke about the swimming pool and the base of the swimming pool, filling it with type 1 before we could pour any concrete. We've now dug the hole for the swimming pool. Well, here we have the type 1, which was brought on a grab on Saturday. And we're transporting in wheelbarrows and we're taking it to the back so we can make a nice flat base and prepare for the concrete slab. Here you can see we have the mesh. This is what we're going to put on top of the type 1 and slightly elevate it so when we pour the slab at the bottom, it's nice and strong and everything ties in well. I keep showing you places where we've kept the existing bricks and we've salvaged them and we've put them together and we're going to reuse them. Well, these are the tiles. If you remember, we put up the temporary roof at the back and there was a small roof what we removed. This is the area I mentioned where we have to take the roof off. Well, we saved those tiles as well so we can use them somewhere else. What you can see is the first course of bricks on the outside skin going up here. We have to cut some of the bricks to size. This is where we tie the inner and outer skin. The reason this is this high is because the insulation is 450 high. So we're going to have a course of insulation underneath this at 450, and then we're going to build up the blocks, and then on top of this, we're going to have another 450. So we're going to keep building in those increments. The back of the house is completely supported. And what we have here is another steel which is going in place from this point to there. We have to make a foundation, so we're going to have to dig out, I think it's 600 by 600 by 600 cube. We're going to pour concrete in here, and we're going to use engineering bricks to build up a column. This steel will sit on the engineering bricks at this point and then bolt in with the holes which are already conveniently placed there. Not by chance, I tell you. Aha. Here you can see the Type 1 material has been compacted and we are putting the mesh on top now. So the boys are just tying the mesh together and tidying it up. You can see the small frame that we've put around. So we're going to put some shuttering down the side here and then we're going to pour this. I asked Dudek, when are we going to pour this? And he said he's actually waiting for us because we have one concrete lorry being repaired at the moment, so we're one down. Hopefully we can pour this on Thursday and then we can start building up the blocks on all four sides. You can see the massive mound of earth we've got here. We're waiting for conveyor belts so we can set them up and take it to the front and get grabs to take it away. We're building up this wall here and we're going to begin to build up here also. But here is an opening for the bifolds. The steel I showed you that's at the front of the property, that's going to sit here. So we can continue to build this because we'll still have access to get the muck out. I'm on the first floor and this is the area above the new steel which you saw go in the other day. New steel's put in to support all the weight. Quite proud of that. So we're filling the area with dry pack and engineering bricks. The new steel downstairs, which I told you we're trying to put in today, we can now see exactly where that's going to go. So once we've put that in, we'll also use engineering bricks and dry pack to fill up the hole left in the wall. Now the wiring is going on very well, and there's something very important. You never want to run data and power together. If they run together, it could cause interference. Now they can cross over each other, but they shouldn't be running together. What you can see here is multiple cables being ran together. Here there's something like 2 Cat6, 1 Cat6A, fiber, coax. There's plenty of cables all running together. Every television point has multiple cables running to it because this home is going to be fully automated. This is an ensuite bathroom to that bedroom. Now we have a small problem which we've just managed to resolve. So if you have a look at this bathroom, it's very tight. And we need a niche to be here, so we have to build up this wall slightly. We have toilets which are all wall hung, so we need to build up a cistern here. So this bathroom's getting smaller and smaller. And then we have a door here opening, which could hit the sink. So we have a plan. What we are going to do, we're going to put the cistern and all the back end of all the mixers and everything, we're going to build the wall out on this side. So technically it will sit in another room, but it means everything here can fit flush. We are then going to change this opening. We're going to move this wall by 100 mil. It means the door can open and the door won't hit anything in the room. So we had a set of plans, we read the plans, we've discussed with Jan and Steph, and that is the best way to evolve on site and work around the room. Plans don't take into account how you're going to live, how you're going to use the space, and sometimes practicality. So I'm glad it's been resolved. That's it from the house of my good friend Yianni Shalalambus, who I would never dream of making fun of or even make any songs about. Now off to the basement salvage project. Just doing the finishing touches to the membrane. There's a few intricate bits which we have to do around the steels and stuff, which is going very well. We have the materials in here to start building up the stud partitions, which I thought we would be doing today, but we're a little bit behind. But we want to make sure we box off all the membrane work completely in full, and then we'll move on to the stud partitions. Plenty to see here, but not going to go into any more detail. These are the intricate, finer points that make the difference between a watertight basement and one which annoys you for the rest of your days and is always leaking. So very happy with it. We need to head back to the yard. There's a train in. Back in the yard, it's a nice sunny day. The train has gone already. We're taking a look over a few of the lorries. Spoke to Volvo about the problem we're having with the 07 skip lorry, and what we have to do now is actually change all of the injectors because when the low pressure pump went wrong, we believe the brass that come out of it might have damaged all the other injectors. So the next thing we've got to do is change all the injectors, and hopefully that makes a difference. It's just trial and error at the moment, unfortunately. I had an email from the council with a few of the residents complaining about us again. They sent a link to my YouTube page, the video of the train being offloaded, and they said there was lots of dust. If the council want to start pulling my videos into any sort of correspondence, then how about we talk about the videos where the trains did come in and the material did build up. I stopped taking trains and we ran out of trains, hence the reason I need some more trains in here. We didn't have any material and then we started to bring trains in again. How about the council talk about the wheel wash they asked me to put in, or the sprinkler system they asked me to put in, or the sweeper, which they said I needed, or any of the other stuff, what the council have told me to do, what I repeatedly do and jump through hoops. Why don't we talk about any of that? Why don't we talk about the last time I was having trains at night, which is actually financially beneficial to us. But I stopped the trains at night because the local residents didn't like it. I did that as well. I had meetings with the drivers. They drive slower on the main road. Every single thing these people ask me to do, I do it. Now the latest one is to send me links to my YouTube page where I try to promote and grow my business and use it against me. Don't mention anything good on there. Take what you want, select that particular element and try to use it against me. In an email, an official corporate email, use my YouTube page against me. I don't know exactly what these people want from me. I'm a bit stuck. So I've replied to them as best I can in the most professional way I can. So let's see where we go from there. We're taking a look around this grab lorry. The one you saw yesterday is back out on the road working, thankfully. With this lorry, we're just putting the eyes around it because there's a new driver starting who's going to drive this, and we're just making sure the lorry's 100%. We want to give it to him in perfect working condition, and hopefully he can look after it and keep it in the condition in which he got it. So having a look at the lorry, we're just at the back here, we're tightening up the U-bolts. So that's basically the suspension, the top of it. We're just tightening it up. We're going to give it a manual tighten. It's not much. There was no play, but just to make sure we tighten that, we had a look at the brakes, slight adjustment on the brakes, a few bits and pieces, and this lorry will be perfect to go out on the road again. What I'm going to do now is jump in, turn it on, and shake the steering. We do that to check all the ball joints and the track rod ends and everything in the steering. So nose underneath, give me the shout, I'll give it a shake, and he can check any wear or anything or any other problems underneath. Did you hear that noise? The last driver who had this left it in PTO. Nice. So just turning the steering repeatedly from side to side and the motion in the wheels, you'll see underneath if there's any wear in anything. Handbrake off. Foot brake down. Foot brake off. Anything? No. All good. Something we did have to fix was the cyclist rail here. It was pretty damaged, so we had to put this on and we had to put a new end on it. So we put a couple of pop rivets in here to keep it all in place, and now everything is secure. Having a look under the lorry, checking all the driveline, the prop, everything feels nice. Everything looks in pretty good condition. It's not the cleanest, but it is in good condition. I can hear people looking for me walking around. I can see the footsteps on my phone's on silent. It's very peaceful down here. Might not be the cleanest, but nobody knows where I am. I think I'm going to hang out here for a little while, lie down and just be alone with my thoughts. Think about how I'm going to tackle this council problem. Wednesday morning we're in the yard. The injectors just arrived from Volvo and we're putting those new injectors in, so we're going to fire that up and see how that's getting on. The train has just arrived, and I have not an apology to make, but I have to tell the truth about something. On Monday, you'll see I mentioned that a lot of people had things in the shopping cart and they hadn't paid for it, and I was going to go and refresh because it was like fresh bread in the bakers. Well, I double checked, and it wasn't any of you guys' fault. It was my fault. Because we're new to the whole Shopify thing, I hadn't set up our PayPal properly and the money couldn't transfer. So it wasn't any of you. So it's a good thing I wasn't hasty. And now I know that all of you are serious. We sold out in 2.5 hours. So thank you very much. As you can see, the rocker cover has been taken off the top of the engine. And you can see here our lovely new injectors. When we put this back on and we tighten it up, let's hope that she runs a little better. The only thing left in the fuel system to change is the 2 high pressure pumps. Once we've changed those, if it's still not working, we have a serious problem on our hands. Having a look at the stock of tyres quickly while I'm up here, I thought I'd take a look at the L860 working away. The train came in this morning on time, we're offloading, and currently there's not a split in the train, but all the lorries have managed to load and go out, so we won't be worried for about another half an hour. And yes, I'm wearing a pink high-vis. Want to say something about it? Because I like to sing and dance around, and now I'm wearing a pink high-vis. So what? A couple of weeks ago on Ashville Weekly, I did a shout out and I said, people come here, you have to learn what's going on, learn the company, learn what we're doing, learn about the deliveries, and then you will start. Well, credit to Maddie. Maddie came in, he sat in lorries with other people, he learnt the ropes, he saw what we were doing, he learnt the business and how we operate, and now this is Maddie's first day out on his own. He did get a little bit lost on the first one, but it's his first day. So Maddie's learning the ropes on his own today, so we all wish Maddie a lot of luck, and it goes to show, if you go somewhere and you put in the hours, you can move forward. Congratulations, Maddie. Thank you. Let's hope Maddie does well. So we changed all the injectors, we turned it back on, and it still didn't sound right. So we had a thought to ourselves. The injector pipes along the front here, when we were putting one of them on, it didn't feel like it was cleanly screwing in. So we thought to ourselves, maybe the engine's taking air. So we took off all the pipes, we used emery paper, which is like sandpaper, but for metal, and cleaned the inside. And then we blew all the pipes out, cleaned them, put them back on, and now she's running perfectly. And the packaging has arrived. So all our issues are resolved with the umbrellas. This is the Ashville merch, and I want everyone to get it in one piece. And when they open it, I want to think, wow, you know, look what they've done here. So let's wrap this one up. Da-da-da. Hopefully this will protect it from Her Majesty's Royal Postal Services knocking it about. Nice, I believe that's nice and protected. Let's put it in the packaging. Nice, snug fit. I'm hoping that as soon as you open it, the first thing you'll see is the A. Now, I've got a bit of black and yellow tissue paper. Some around that side, some around this side. For a first attempt, it's not bad. Lid goes on. This morning we start on site at Yianni's house. We are looking to pour the base for the swimming pool and also the foundations at the front for the front extension. Now we have the concrete pumping lorry here, ready to go. We've set out all our pipes, and here we have the volumetric lorry. Now we measured it up at about 12 meters. Let's hope we're right. In the swimming pool, we're gonna put C40 for the slab at the bottom, and for the foundations at the front, we're gonna do C20. Our first wall is building up nicely. You see the external course and the internal both are at a decent height, and if we look down here, we can see our insulation in the cavity. All the block and beam is completely in place. You can see the existing foundations of the house. We've drilled into them and we've put rebar in. This is so we can tie the new foundation here and the foundation of the house together. Now, the engineer didn't ask us to do it, but we like to do this because we feel it makes it a bit stronger. We've also found a pipe here with some water coming out of it. Now, it's not a water pipe. This must be a duct for a telephone cable or something like that. So we're waiting for the water to drain out of it. If this was a water pipe, it would be in the air, like as if we found oil or something like that. But because it's just trickling out, this must be a service duct. So when the water's out of the pipe, we're gonna cut it and see what exactly is inside. What you can see is some membrane that we've put down on the floor over here. This is to protect the driveway surfaces. So afterwards, we can just kind of fold this up, take it in, and it'll be easier for us to clean out the road. We're just wetting the stone because it's actually stopped raining now. We feel with the stone and the rebar, if the stone is wet, it gives us a better connection with the concrete. So this slab will be nice and strong. Then we'll start to build up the reinforced walls all the way around. So we're mixing here, and you can see the concrete coming straight through into the hopper here. Now let's get to the other end. That's not it, that's the water. And it begins. You can see the amount of pressure going through the pipes. It's actually moving them, and you can hear like the swooshing sound as well. As you can see, the Sledgehammer Champion is the man in charge of holding the pipe here, and all the other boys are spreading it everywhere. We're going to start leveling immediately. So now we've moved to the other corner, we're going to spread it there, and there's going to be a team at the front leveling, coming this way, and then there's going to be a team spreading it. We're using this timber everywhere as our guide on the height, and then it's being leveled. We need a level slab here. Without a level slab, we'll be all over the place. All going well. Getting this level is crucial because we have to build the reinforced walls around. If this goes wrong, it just ends up being a dirty slab. And while dirty slabs are fun, who wants to get stuck with it? You can't do anything long-lasting around it. So Adrian's in a position where he goes to plenty of other construction companies and he pours concrete there, and then he also comes to our in-house jobs. So Adrian goes to jobs everywhere, all size companies, small people just doing one extension, massive companies doing groundworks. Do you see a lot of problems on our site, or we're ready and everything goes smoothly? Stop. All right, yeah, cut, stop. That means stop. When the Sledgehammer Champion talks, we listen. As we work our way out here, we're going to disconnect pipes. And then when we go to pour the front, we're going to disconnect all of these and reconnect at the front of the house. You think we have enough here, yeah?
Yeah. We got around 6 wheelbarrows from the pipes. So there will be enough here.
Okay. While we're leveling the back, here we are at the front, and we're about to start pouring these foundations. Before anyone says anything, there's reinforcement bar here. You could argue that we should tie it together with mesh, but we weren't actually meant to do this anyway. We just did it. So don't try to jump all over that and say,
They should have done this and they should have done that.
This is probably the most simple pour we've ever done. You can see Dudek here using the laser which is connected to this, and he's trying to get to the finish height where we need to be. It's not very scientific, putting it on a bit of timber, but it works. These are the pipes which have come off already. We have to wash all the pipes out before we put them back on the lorry. Thankfully, at this site, we have enough space. Now, that's enough for here. We have to get to a new job, which we're taking a look at. We're looking at a job outside 115 Kentish Town Road. If you don't remember him, this is Sheldon from Chicken Kitchen. If you remember last week, he's the man who brought me the dumpling burgers, and I said, this is sick, bro.
Different.
I'm happy to see Sheldon doing well. Sheldon is a man from my local area, and Chicken Kitchen are expanding. This is going to be the new Chicken Kitchen. We're looking at the work here that's going to take place. We've got a set of plans here. I've got Dudek, I've got Michael. We're going to have a look at what's going on in here. We're going to discuss the plans with Sheldon and see if we can't get this job started. Finally back in the yard, we had a brainstorming session last night on stereo. Myself and Ara, the coach, who is probably struggling to edit this right now and get Ashville. C Arms suggested that I jump over a digger in my discovery. I'll tell you what, it's a very dangerous idea, so I'm going to do that when we hit 10 million subs and I get that lovely diamond plaque. MTS wants to see a video on how we price up jobs. I think that's a great idea. I'm going to take you through the journey of how we price it up from start to finish and the thinking behind it. However, I'm not going to do it about a specific person's house because obviously it's confidential how much money people spend refurbishing their homes. And Nathan Smith wanted to see a full day on site. So not like a day in the life, but a full day on site. From when you wake up in the morning and you spend the entire day on site, what happens, and preferably he'd like to see that at Yianni's house. I think that's a great suggestion, and I'm definitely going to make that happen. So that is on the list of ideas. Now tonight at 6 p.m, I am back on stereo, and this time with Con from the Sidemen. And I'm just having a look at the Sidemen here, and these men have 11 million subs. Like, that is crazy. That's massive. So we're really privileged to have Con. We're going to give you as much information we can on how to create great content. Any advice, any tips, we're going to try and share absolutely everything with you. And Con has just bought his first property. So Con is new to property, and we are new to YouTube. So hopefully we can share everything we've learned with you. It's Friday morning, we're in the yard, and Simon is trapped behind the camera. Let the accountant through. Let the accountant through. The accountant is through, and what I'd like to point out is this man, don't go anywhere, Si. Hard hat. Yeah. Orange. Ashville underneath. Ashville here. Boots. Yes. A perfect example of health and safety in the yard, and his paperwork is already sorted out at 8:22. Big man business. Guys, I want to say something straight away that's close to my heart. I'd like to congratulate Yianni and Steph on the birth of their beautiful baby girl. Babymize is here with us. She's healthy, Mummy's healthy, and Yianni's healthy as well. And I want to wish the family all the best. And when I get the thumbs up, I'd love to see Babymize and bring her a few presents. I'm sure we can get her dressed up in some Ashville gear. I was spoilt last night. I had a night's sleep. Can you imagine the luxury? The universe is being good to me. I had a good night's sleep. Whetstone Scaffolding are here to do a few bits and pieces in the gym. It was actually my fault. The dimensions that I gave them, some of the dimensions were slightly off, but now we have the bars and everything. They can work around it and get it sorted. There's another bit of work I want to do. We need to cut some scaffold poles and do a bit of welding because I need to put some sprinklers in the other yard just to dampen the material as we lift it off the train. So there's plenty to do this morning. I need to put a prop in the back of a pickup. I need to drop the prop off and collect the prop, which I showed you the other day, which is the PTO prop, what goes on the volumetric concrete lorry. It's also the last day of the month, so it's wages, payroll, suppliers paying, and we're chasing people for money. There's a lot to do. The small bits that we have to do in the gym just to get it right, they are my fault because I gave the dimensions in the first place. Trouble is, I went and measured up at Genesis Gym in Alperton, which is the original Muscle Man, Bad Man, Meathead gym. But their bars are slightly longer, so I measured up for their bars, and my bars aren't as long as theirs. So we're going to address that now. But what I would like to say, I want to thank Whetstone Scaffolding for coming this morning, but I do want to say that Matt is on a long thing. True say he got the DM from Love Island. Now he's playing silly buggers and he's going on like he's exclusive. So Matt Hollywood here, the Love Island contestant, yeah, man took all 2 weeks to turn up and come and do the work. Before he got the message from Love Island, man would have been here the next morning. Now he's got Hollywood on me and he took 2 weeks to come here, and man was saying, right, can he train? So he's taken 2 weeks to come here and do the work, and he's saying, can he train? What do you think I should do? Chief. As the weather's improved in the yard, we're having a little scrape up of the extra bits of mud, and we're dropping down some hardcore. This hardcore will just raise all the low areas in the yard. It protects the lorry suspension, and it means it's a level surface, so we won't have any puddles of water. No one wants to clean the filter on that. He wants to blast it like out there.
Can you not hear it?
Yeah.
It's blowing the filter out.
Is it done it, yeah?
It blows it out every 10 minutes.
That's because I bought the top spec machine, Wayne.
They've all got it.
All right, fine. It's still a top spec machine.
I can up that if I want.
Yeah?
Every 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Every 5 minutes.
Okay. So we're all right, yeah?
Yeah, it just blew out, because if it wasn't doing it,
Yeah.
it'd be dead.
Yeah,
You get
okay.
no power out of it. So I need to bring it off and jet wash it. Or put the hose pipe over it.
We'll have to put the hose pipe. You won't get it to get into the middle yard. You've got to go through the middle of the yard and it'll just be too busy. I spoke about the new sprinklers earlier. So what we're going to do, we're going to get the scaffold pipes and we're going to tack weld them onto here and we're going to put clamps. We're going to space them out. We're going to put 5 of them. We're going to put them pretty high in the air. We're going to fit the sprinklers on them and the sprinklers are going to... And that's just going to dampen the material as it comes in, as it goes off the train. Let's just help Wayne sort this out quickly. Was that the Techers, yeah? We keeping score! Oh. Hello. He said, he told me not to do it, he told me to leave it to you. I think Wayne was ahead on the scoreboard, so I'm catching up. Oh, train! Get out of here.
So you put your double on it and run it straight up.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So it bites into that.
And could we put 2, one top and one bottom? Would that hold it in place, yeah?
Yeah, that will hold it in place, yeah. So Eskay,
Yeah.
butt, and then double.
What does butt mean?
Yeah.
Oh, that!
Yeah, that's a butt.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Just to get the protrusion on the actual Eskay.
Yeah.
Double round it, give you a right angle.
And that'll hold it, yeah?
2 points of contact and
yeah.
hold it.
And that'll hold it, yeah?
Yeah.
I don't have to go and retighten it or anything like that. Now that'll be fine. Please call him and tell him to bring it. I need to get them sprinklers on that in that yard quickly.
If you open the Scania box for that mirror,
Yeah, I just open it. I just look
do
for the
you
words.
know if it's the right one by looking at it?
What's it for? I don't know what it's for.
For the overview for AS11CON.
I can't tell. I need to put some sprinklers up in the railway yard, like ASA. I got like 2 days to do it. A front view mirror, yeah? What I'm saying is it's different if you've got a sun visor or if you haven't got a sun visor. They're different, yeah. I'm going to drop off the prop. And Volvo said they'll come and drop the prop bolts. Oh, okay, all right, fine.
You chalk your hand for deadlifts.
Nah, man, the track's full of stones. And everyone's in a machine. So the labourer has to pick them up. Plan is in place for the new sprinklers that are going to go in the railway yard. We should have them operational by the end of Saturday, if not Sunday midday, so we can start to dampen that material as it comes off the train. And I've got 100 other bits to do and I have to try and get back to the yard as early as possible because it's end of month and it's payroll and nobody cares that I'm busy. Everyone needs to get paid. I was feeling a bit weak, so Julia ordered some super glue and so I now have all my powers back. Nice. Got an entire prop here that I'm going to go and drop off now. It doesn't fit in my car, so I'm using the Salesman Amarok AS11 rep, which means sales rep, obviously. Also, we've run out of petrol in the yard. Unfortunately, now the compressor that we took out the van is petrol, it's not diesel, so we have to keep going out and getting petrol. Why I'm doing it, I don't know. I just need to get things done. Now I've just been told a pipe has gone on the 8-ton machine. So before I leave, Noel's going to take that pipe off. I'm going to throw it in the back as well and go and get a new one made. So on my rounds, drop off the prop, get some petrol, get that pipe made, come back, and hopefully start my day at my desk, eventually. While Noel's taking off the pipe, I've heard that our new neighbours who are over there, I've heard that they want some concrete. So I'm going to do the neighbourly thing, go and say hello, have a cup of tea, and see how much concrete they need. Saturday morning, it's a sunny day and I am in the yard. This morning sorting out all payroll and everything is now done. Matt from Whetstone Scaffolding Love Island contestant is back in the mix. I'm going to check what Whetstone Scaffold did the other day with all the gym equipment, but from the looks of it, it looks good. And I want to discuss alterations to the scaffold here for my new office, what's going to be up here. Now, Whetstone Scaffold put all this scaffolding in. When did you put this in, what, about 2-3 years ago?
Yeah, 2-3 years ago.
Right, so I need him to make some alterations because obviously my new office is going to be a lot bigger. We're now in the gym and I'm just checking the changes that Whetstone Scaffold have made. From what I can see, it looks good. Before you jump on it, I know what the rules say. I'm not training and I know I've got dirty boots on, but I'm going to sweep the gym afterwards. Yes, I'm aware of the rules. Do you know why? Because I was there when I wrote them and I'm the one who put that up there. But I will get changed when I'm training. Something I can tell you is that the punch bag is nearly full. So this is really good because any frustration or anything else at work that builds up before I leave here to go home, we can always, we can always hit the bag. But it is gonna need some more clothes in it because here it's a bit softer. So here feels completely different to there. Come on.
Way done, don't want the whole 7 bags on one.
The Ashville gym. I'm telling this man there's adjustments to do. He's saying he's going to have a little arms blast. Firstly, the only thing that he's training in here is ears and mouth because he's listening and talking. Secondly, as far as I can see, that is not training arms.
This is core and these off the back.
It's not actually, but cool. Didn't get a chance to show you this the other day because we were so busy, but the new hose is now on the digger. So we took off the old one, got one made exactly the same, and we've put it on. So it's good from here all the way down into here. There are some new rules coming in with the LEZ. That's the low emission zone. Not the ULEZ, which is the ultra low emission zone. Yesterday there was a massive panic. I was calling the likes of Michael O'Donovan and loads of other operators and they were calling me and we couldn't work out. Is the new zone to the North Circular or is it all the way to the M25? Now, we're still not sure. If it's moved to the M25, then I'm ashamed to say that I have been completely caught out and we are not ready for that and some of our lorries won't be able to pull out of this yard on Monday morning without a £100 charge. If it is the North Circular, like I think it is, we'll just have to rework all our lorries. So the older lorries can work around the North Circular and all the newer lorries can go into Central. I'm not sure. If any of you out there can shed any light on this, please help us because the Transport for London website is all over the place with contradicting information. Oh, this makes no sense. Like, it's 3 o'clock. I introduced you to Maddie earlier this week. It was his first week. He is not an experienced driver by his own admission, but this week he was learning a lot. And guess what? Particular days this week, do you know what Maddie did? Everybody parked up. The man went out, left the yard at 4 o'clock and went and did a delivery to ensure that he did the same loads as everyone else, even though he wasn't driving as fast as them because he wasn't as comfortable. I said to him, you know that your lorry is faster than everyone else's. What did you say?
I'm not pushing it.
He said, I'm not pushing it because he's getting to know the lorry. But the man went out and did another load to keep up with everyone, and he actually did more than some of the more experienced drivers with loads of experience and a new lorry. Maddie did more than them. So respect to Maddie. Appreciate people coming to learn, putting their hours in, putting the graft in, respect, and, what was it? Credit where credit is due. Cool. Well done. Earlier in the week, I spoke about putting some sprinklers in here to dampen the material as it came off the train. Now, I've done some investigation, and it turns out that at the quarry, when it got really cold, all the pipes froze. So they weren't able to dampen the material because all the water was frozen. However, that is now working. We were going to put sprinklers on the back fence. Well, that's going to take a lot longer. So what we did was we put sprinklers in on this side immediately to dampen the material that's here. And tomorrow, we're going to work on fitting them on the other side. So let's see these in action. Simon! Just to prove to you that these are working. And here we go. So the material is nice and damp. You can tell by the color of it. And this acts as dust suppression. So this stops any dust going in the air when this is being loaded onto vehicles or moved around in the yard. So Monday, when we get in, we're gonna take the machine, put it up here. We're gonna take the height of this entire pile down. My pants are gonna be soaked, man. We're gonna take the, yeah, turn it offside. They get it. We're gonna take all this material. Look, Simon thinks he's funny. So on Monday, we're gonna take down the top of all the material. We're gonna reorganize in the yard. And for Tuesday, when the trains start coming in, because next week we got 5, that's right, trains are coming in. So we need to be ready for that. That's it for Ashville Weekly, episode 21. It wasn't a record-breaking week, but it was a busy one. We're completely sold out of umbrellas, but don't worry, because there's plenty more Ashville merch coming. I've taken the first steps towards changing the infrastructure at Ashville by creating my own office, and I'm not sure if it's my singing, dancing, or my pink high vis, but I've managed to upset the council. So we've been busy this weekend taking measures to ensure that we resolve all issues. Click here for the Ashville website. Click here to subscribe to our channel. Click here to see a video of me going 185 foot in the air, and click here for last week's episode, which is number 20. My pants are absolutely drenched. Oh. If you like the channel and the video, let me know, subscribe and leave your comments below.